More than half the country's retail payments are now being made digitally, marking a milestone toward a cash-light economy. Data from the Bangko Central's 2024 Stages of Digital Payments report showed digital transactions accounted for 57.4% of total monthly retail payment volumes and 59% of value. These figures mark an increase from 52.8% and 55.3% respectively in 2023. It also surpassed the 52 to 54% target set under the Philippine Development Plan. Staying with the Philippines' digital payments journey, our next guest urges the creation of a national alias directory where every mobile number can be linked to a bank account for real-time transfers. With us now for more is the founder, president, and CEO, Manish of Uno Digital Bank, the first fintech company to obtain a digital banking license from the Bangko Central. Good to see you, Manish. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kathy, for having me here. Pleasure to be here.
All right, so what do you make of the digital payments report? It's quite an improvement from last year.
I think BSP has done a phenomenal work in terms of promoting digital payments. Like if you go back to 2020, coming out of COVID, the governor had set himself a target of hitting 50% payments digitally by 2023. BSP surpassed that in 2023, and as we see right now from the current report, almost 60% of the payments are now digital. Not only that, maybe this headlines doesn't do justice. When you go deeper inside, you see the PesoNet rails, you see the InstaNet or InstaPay, or you see QRPH. There has been growth everywhere, especially QRPH, which has more than doubled, which is phenomenal for the growth of the economy and the GDP per capita as well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal growth, but when you dig deeper and look at the unbanked and the underbanked, and the reason why you set up Uno Digital is because you wanted to be inclusive.
Absolutely.
To what extent has that been addressed, or is there still a huge gap when we talk about financial inclusion?
There has been positive trajectory. All these statistics points to strong development, increase in number of bank accounts, increase in financial accounts, increase in percentage of payment. But the question to be asked is, are we doing enough? Is there more which can be done? And Philippines today is on the cusp of a great explosion. We have seen that mobile-first economies are the one who are shaping the future of the globe. And Philippines stands out there where digital adoption is taken very, very positively. So I think there are a few steps which can be done further, especially when you look around in the region, the neighbors around Asia, rest of the world, which can take this to the next level. It's not only about the percentages. Yes, 60% is a great number, and that will continue to grow. But how to take the stock up? Today, if you see into this report, talked about 3 billion payments which went through digital mechanism. That's a great increase. But how do we take that 3 to 100 billion?
So how do we do that then? I mean, you are proposing a national alias database, which we've already seen being implemented in jurisdictions like Singapore, India. I mean, what difference would it make, and what is it about?
Absolutely. I think the next step is to make the payments more convenient, more transparent, increase the user experience, and give them comfort around security. And we have seen this work in Brazil, in Mexico, in India, in Singapore, in Australia. So purposely, I'm like trying to touch the different centers of globe. What this does is it really empowers an individual to make a payment by simply typing the other person's mobile number. Today, there has been a bit of resistance to payments. Yes, the adoption has been good, but what we need to do is possibly push for enablers which will take it to the next level. So let me take example of Singapore out here. Today, after they introduce a mobile-to-mobile kind of payments, which is interoperable with the entire network being connected, around today 80% of the people use that, and the total usage is around 80. Just so I give you the context of India in terms of numbers, in 2017, monthly payments was around 100 million. As of May, it is 18 billion. So now, if you look at in global context and numbers, today Philippines is 3 billion. And say if I use any country, let's use India. India has gone 170 billion. So it's a scale of 60. And that's the
So
scale which
it's-
is very much achievable out here by,
Can
by,
it-
by,
but
by
then-
having.
Yeah, again, when we talk innovation, we do talk about the need for safety and security, and you touched on that point. Given the SIM Registration Act and the resulting lack of trust, if you will, how can we go around that and convince the Bangko Sentral that this will be a safe and secure way of seamless financial inclusion?
Absolutely, very relevant. Today, if you see, when you go through your eKYC and in the banks, you already have your mobile number out there. The national alias, it talks about having a centralized directory. And that needs to be in a government institution or government endorsed institution. Say, for example, in Philippines example, it can be BankNet. So there's a centralized base which is very, very secure, where all this registry is there. So that safety aspect from the regulator point of view comes from not handling this data to kind of any private institution, but having it controlled. Just like you today the data of InstaPay or PesoNet is very, very secure. What it does for the individual level is actually creating it more secure, because it has been proven globally that transfers based on mobile numbers are less prone to errors for individuals. Take an example of a common sari store owner or anyone who's transferring money every day to multiple accounts. Mm-hmm. It's prone to much more errors. Whereas if you know someone with whom you're dealing every day and you are just transferring the money by putting that mobile number, it's much more safe and secure.
Okay, well, let us know how the Bangko Sentral reacts when you propose this this innovative measure. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Manish Pai of Uno Digital Bank.